Hello everybody and welcome back to Stellaris, where we are currently working on taking out the Palisma nation, and Satana is doing Satana things, but we can now attack her outposts without her necessarily knowing about it. So that's very interesting, but we're not going to do that until we're done with this war with the Palisma nation, for sure. So that is fine. We've got this force moving into Sorsamax at this moment. And these guys up at Devasa, how are they doing? They are at 2783. Okay. That's going to take a while, for sure. In Tiersonia, we have this force on the way out, and they are headed down to Helos. Okay, perfect. We do actually have a tradition available, and we should probably take it. Upkeep from jobs minus 5%. Sure, why not? We're pretty full on our resources right now. I'm fine with that. It's okay. It's a little inefficient, but I don't feel like we need it right now, so it's fine. So over at Sapir, how's this going? This bombardment is, of course, a pretty major one. Star Route is 4K, and then New Beginning has another 2K over there. So that's definitely noted. And then there's, of course, this invasion over here. And that's actually getting pretty close. We still have some frontline units here, but we are definitely working through their robots. I'd like for us to take out these frontline units first. They're still doing full damage, and it would be ideal if we'd hit them. Unfortunately, we're just prioritizing the backline, as we tend to do. We are hitting this robot army, though, so that's neat. We get that out of there anyway. So we've cut our damage that we're taking roughly in half, and they're currently attacking us with a really weak dimensional fleet up over here. I don't know what the point of this is, to be honest. It's already gone. Okay. Sure. So we actually just got Breek under control here, and this is a little awkward here. I'm going to jump drive to Mercy, but it's going to be very awkward for us. Now, this force is at 14K. They're not strong enough to come in and invade at Star Route yet, but they are strong enough to come and invade at some of these areas up over here, like Wistral, perhaps. 1383. They're definitely strong enough to do that. So we'll bring them up over there. That's fine. And these guys are going to jump drive here, and then they're going to be stuck here for 200 days as that jump drive cools down. But we just need to get that under control. So we'll do that. That seems absolutely fine. And then we'll have to jump drive them out again. This is just an isolated area. So that's absolutely fine for right now.
Cleansing foreign blight.
Okay, so how's Pollen Cloud doing over here? That's actually going to be done relatively quickly. So that sounds good. We've successfully invaded Abundance. Did we invade that? Maybe we did invade it. Okay, well, we're on our way up over this direction anyway. So that seems fine. Mercy is now under our control. Again, we can't go anywhere with this fleet until this jump drive cooldown is done. 180 days, so they're just stuck here for 6 months. That's absolutely fine for right now. I don't have any problem with that. So, over at Sorsamax, we are just now hitting this station.
The canopy is under
Okay,
attack.
so that's dealt with, and then we're going to be coming down to Great Promise over here. Eventually, we're going to take down the orbital ring. I don't know why it looks like we're shooting the planet, but we were shooting the orbital ring there. And then we're going to start shooting the planet. So 3423. Fantastic. So at this moment, we finished up a terraformation, so that's, you know, something. I suppose we could go through some of these other worlds here. We've got, that's an orbital habitat there. That's an orbital habitat. Do we have anything over here that can be terraformed? That's an orbital habitat. So that's all negative. I don't know what we have that we can terraform at this point. I'm just going to scroll through here real quick. We're seeing Gaia worlds and tropical worlds. This is terraformable. Sure. So we can do that. And then this is an arid world here, which we might as well terraform. This is a desert world. So we do have some here. This is a tundra world. This is a desert world. That's a tropical. Here's a desert world that we could terraform. Here's an arid world. This is a station, which is not going to exist. And then a tropical world here. Okay, and then we go down through here, and what do we see? Well, a whole lot of tropical and Gaia worlds. No surprises there. Here's a desert world, but that's already terraforming. We already got all of these. Okay, so that seems fine for now. Those worlds are going to need some work later on, but for now, this is okay.
The path is laid.
Cool. So at this moment, we have a council agenda ready to go. I don't really know what we want so much for our council agenda. We could call one of our nodes, I suppose, but I think I'm just going to favor the core. That'll be fine. A nice resource production increase because, you know, we definitely need more resources to waste. No doubt about that. Okay, so we're heading into Helos over here. That'll be absolutely wonderful. The plan is for this fleet...
Predators engaged.
Interesting. They're already jumping to Sapir in 138 days. I didn't know you could pre-plan that. That's good to know. That was an accident. Sure. That's very good. I definitely want that. So the plan is for them to come in here, and after that to start bombarding New Beginning, right? This fleet is coming in here. This is not a threatening fleet, and our fighters are going to absolutely ravage them before they get to us. This is not a dimensional fleet, so they do move a little faster. But they're still going to take very heavy damage before they even arrive.
Shelter being ravaged.
Yeah, you can see here. This is going poorly for them. No doubt about that.
Shelter engaged.
So we're going to continue to do more damage here, and I'm leaning towards making our fleets more Harbinger heavy. It's something I've been thinking about anyway, because those fighters do so much work before anything else even happens, and means that we don't take other damage, right? So that's definitely an option. Okay, so out over here, 2395.
Predators
In Kalam, we must be so close to being done with this. Oh yeah, we're just working on their backline, so we're taking 85% reduced damage at this moment, and they're almost gone. Beautiful. So that's all looking fine. We're finally going to finish this up, and we'll see how much we lost. We definitely lost some. Right now, it looks like it was about half, but I don't think it was actually half. We've got all these disengaged, and we don't actually know how many we have disengaged, so that's absolutely fine. Okay, well, let's get rid of all of these. There we go. And the invasion is complete. Perfect. So this is 5.7k, but it will recover over time. I want to move this up to Devasa, and we're going to come land on Astral Eerie. We should have enough to do that no matter what. But this will recover as time goes on. You can see it's up to 5.9k. It's up to 6k. Somebody built a science nexus. Oh, the United Dethican Commonwealth are building multiple science nexes? Interesting. Well, we're out of here. We've got 6.2k, and that seems fine. So Wistral is currently under control, and that means that we need these guys to come up over here. Then we're going to want them to come up over this way and head to Rodan. That will be the goal there. Perfect.
Invasive growth engaged.
So that means that this invasion force can make their way out over to, like, Helos or Sorsamax, in theory, or we could bring it back down over here. That's still a very long ways away from being invadable, though. So I'm thinking we're going to bring this over to Sorsamax, and we can start landing on Great Promise. That should be fine. So onward we go there. That seems wonderful, and we're going to get some of these invasions underway up over Devasa way. Cool. And we're going to knock these areas out eventually as well. How powerful are the armies in Rodan, I wonder?
Predatory
They do have a
shelter
number of locations here. They're reasonably strong. We will have to definitely take them out. So that is absolutely fine. I'm a little surprised the Palisma Nation hasn't ended this war. I guess the Obzant League is unwilling to end it, which is fine by me. That's completely and totally okay. We're doing very well, and these guys are not messing with us, so I'm okay with it. If the Agarian League and the Interstellar Favarian Conglomerate declare on us, I will absolutely want out of this war with the Palisma Nation. But as it is right now, I don't see a reason.
Invasive growth engaged.
I don't know why they're trying to do this attack. This is not going to work. This is a dimensional fleet. All of these ships are gone. It's just a matter of time. We even have this second fleet here. Oh, this is so bad for them. So this is our fleet that just jump drived in. But, I mean, it doesn't matter. They can't do anything. They just get swarmed by our fighters. So that sounds wonderful. And the idea always was for this fleet to come bombard at New Beginning. So that'll be fine. They can do that. And that will give them some time to regenerate. Where are you going? You should be bombarding at Star Route. There we go. Cool. So that all seems fine. We're going to be arriving over at Sourcemax soon. And the question is, do we actually want to invade here or do we want to invade here? 1141. Honestly, we're not bombarding here right now. Let's come in and invade at Grasping Branch. This is an easier invasion. And that means that this fleet is free to push forward up this way. Like that. So that seems good, and that gets this entire area under our control. So I like that a lot. Absolutely wonderful. So up here at Devasa, are we invading? Yes, we are. And that means that this fleet is now free. So I want this fleet to move up towards, like, Palisi. I do see that there's a dimensional fleet up here. It's no match for the people that we have here. Oh, wow. It just kind of spawned right on top of us. Okay, I mean, that's really good for us. We might have taken a few losses because of it, but it's okay. Yeah, we definitely took a few losses. So we're going to need to get some new Maulers in here. That's fine. And a few new Weavers. That's also fine. I think this is going to split off some Weavers incorrectly, but sure. Yeah, it split off this Weaver. I can always tell because it drops down from being like 15 of 16 like this is. It would drop this down to being 14 of 14. Okay, let's add in a Mauler here since apparently we need one. And where else do we need fleet ships at? Here, apparently? Okay, that's at full strength. And then we have one other that is apparently lacking. And that is our 10th Corolla. Okay, sounds good. So we lost a couple of Harbingers here. We do need to put in a Juvenile Harbinger. Actually, just a singular. And that split off this Mauler. Okay. Definitely not ideal, but it's fine. It would be more efficient to put it back in the fleet than to put in a Juvenile, but it's okay. So we're going to continue to bombard their capital here, and that's absolutely wonderful. So everything is looking really, really good for us here, of course. This is absolutely phenomenal. A new Astral Rift is ready for exploration, not like we care. And over here in Devasa, this is eventually going to be taken over, but it's going to take it a little while, no doubt about that. And of course, same thing over here in Helos. It's going to take a little bit to get Grasping Branch fully invaded, but nowhere near as long as in some of these other areas, that's for sure. Wonderful. So the Palisma Nation is almost eliminated at this moment. There's very, very little that they can do. And that's absolutely wonderful. How are things looking up in Amory? Okay, 2642, that's going to take a little while. Was that their fleet at 1.5k or their army at 1.5k? Okay, their army's at 42. Yeah, that's not a lot. They're attacking us down in Sapir again. This is not going to go well for them. I don't know why they're trying this. They're going to get nothing done. Okay. Sure. Again, I don't know why they're trying that. It's very silly of them. So that's all fine for now. We'll just continue to push through these areas as quickly as we can. So Enif falls, and we're going to take Kergaros. And then after that, I'm thinking we might bring the Skyfall Voidwings up over this direction to bombard Starroot. So it'll take them a little while to get there, but that's fine. So just come on in over to here, and yeah, we'll order it later. It's just a little awkward because of this FTL inhibitor. So we'll order that after we get moved in. It's okay. Of course, we do have locations that have some tile blockers on some of these newly captured worlds. And I would not mind spending the energy credits to get these tile blockers cleared off. That'd be a good thing.
Predators engaged.
There's actually a lot of ruined districts there. Understood. Here, I don't know that we're actually going to be able to hold this location. Maybe we are. Our habitability is 0, though, so that's, exciting. And we've got a lot of these, theoretically, that we can clear tile blockers off of. So we can definitely work on that. It's fine, but it's not the biggest of deals as of right now. These are just locations that we took by bombardment, and yeah, we did some damage that we now have to pay for. But we can get those cleaned up. There we go. Do we have any other tile blockers that we see on our worlds? Not that's blocking our expansion anyway. There's definitely work that we can do on our worlds. No doubt about that. But for now, this is fine. So Bikul is under control. We're going to go into Rodan, and there's a lot of locations to bombard here. So that's understood. We're going to be bombarding at Pollen Cloud for a little while yet, 802, and then Starroot up here, of course, will take a little while as well. So these guys, they need to make their way up to Fulaz for the moment and start bombarding over at Starroot. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to be done in Helos shortly, I think. That's still got a little ways to go. And up over here in Devasa, how is this looking? Yeah, we've definitely got a ways to go here, too. But we're making progress. Slowly, but surely.
Horizons widened.
Okay. So we just finished up our tachyon beams. I don't really care too much here what we go for. We could go for something like... Okay, I'm just going to grab this. It's a reroll. That's absolutely fine. So we're going to go attack Rodan here, and this means that we're going to have space control very, very soon. We need to finish pushing through Sapir in order to fully establish space control, but Starroot is it's not that close. 1886. New beginning over here is at 2657, so that requires a fair amount of work. We are going to need a few maulers in over here, apparently. So let's get that going. And we have one other fleet that took a few hits here. There we go. Problem solved. Fantastic. So in we go to Rodan. And our last location here would be Sapad. So that's absolutely wonderful for us. I do want to check in on how things are looking down here. This is a very long-term bombardment, right? That's down to 25k. It's got a long ways to go. So that's understood. We're probably going to have to bring multiple fleets in on that, but that's fine. For the time being, we're spread too thin for that, and it's okay. We'll get there. So up here in Rodan, we want to immediately begin bombardment somewhere, but we're still fighting an orbital ring and the station up over here. Okay. It's a little awkward, but we'll get that all taken care of eventually. Yeah, our fighters are flying back and forth between these. Okay. Our combat systems aren't very smart, but they'll get it figured out eventually. They're coming in here again with another small fleet. I don't understand what the point of this is. Build up your forces and then push us out. Like, you're not even repaired, buddy. I really don't see what the point is. They're just wasting resources. But okay, if that's what they want to do, I guess I'm not going to complain. So up here in Devasa, how's Astral Eerie going? Well, it's got a ways to go still. Not terribly shocking. Over here in Helos, this invasion should be getting pretty close to done. Oh yeah, this is very close to done. And we're hitting the frontline unit? I love it. That's really good. Now we're hitting their backline units, but those backline units are irrelevant. Perfect.
We take root on alien ground.
So Helos has fallen, and now we're going to come into Sorcimax. The idea here is that we're going to land on Great Promise.
Old growth cleared for new life.
Yeah. That's going to take a while to invade, but that's okay. That'll free up this fleet. And this fleet will likely come down here to help bombard, I think. That's what I'm leaning towards right now, anyway. Okay, so down over this direction, I'm wondering how we're doing on these bombardments. 638, that's not too bad. 1032. Okay, those will fall pretty soon. How's their capital doing? Okay, 2,700. That's definitely going to take some time. Star Route over here is actually being bombarded by the Ubzant League, which is neat, but we're going to have Spring Rain done very soon, so that all looks great. Wonderful.
The weeds have been pruned.
So we're going to be coming in over here and landing on Great Promise shortly. And once we've started that up, I want to have this fleet depart, not before. So this is fine for now. They can just remain where they are until that invasion actually begins, and we'll go into Zranax at that point. This is not the system I want to be looking at. Okay, that's exciting. I don't know why it's taking us into that system instead of Sorcimax, but okay, sure. We're going to get this invasion done shortly. Any moment now. Wow, these guys are moving slow. But they'll get there eventually. I hope. Any moment now. They are not speedy boys. Okay, sure. So they're beginning their invasion now. And we are going to come down and help bombard at Star Route. This will double our bombardment speed here, which is currently at about 2 to 3 per day. And that'll be useful anyway. We do need a lot more, but this is fine for the moment. So Spring Rain is almost done with its bombardment. This is bombarding much more quickly. And that's looking very, very good. Only a few more days left here, and then we'll start bombarding over at Star Route. So Spring Rain about to fall. They just have 15% left. 4%, and surrendered. Beautiful. So next we're going to head over to Star Route here and get that bombarding. We're not done in Amory yet. So over in Fulaz, let's see how Pollen Cloud is doing. 505, and then Star Route 929. So these are going to be bombarded fairly quickly, and we can move them up to Rodan and help bombard up over here, because we need Grasping Branch and a Star Route up over here. And both of those are building up Gene Warrior armies right now, so that's, you know, exciting. Okay, so we're invading at Sorcimax, and that will get done eventually. Okay, we can see the end of their reserves already, so that's not too bad. I want to check in on Devasa. This should be just about done. We're almost through the reserves anyway. Okay. Well, that's fine for the moment.
Invasive growth engaged.
And we are, of course, going to be pushing further in Sapir soon enough, but we are FTL inhibited right now. So we actually can't until New Beginning gets its devastation up above 50. So that's understood. Star Route is at 715 and 2493 in New Beginning. And it looks like they're sending in more fleets here. This is actually maybe some reasonably threatening fleets. Well, one of them is reasonably threatening. But we have 2 fleets here, and this is not going to succeed. I don't know what they think they're going to accomplish here. They wouldn't even be able to defeat one of our fleets. But we have 2. So our fighters go on out. We've got those perdition beams coming in. And this is going to be very, very bad for them, obviously. Are our swarmers actually swarming? Hang on. They're spreading out. They're actually engaging. Kind
The
of.
weeds have been pruned.
They're in a kind of okay spot.
The weeds
They're going to take a lot of damage there. They're acting as a front line, which is what we want them to do, though.
have been pruned.
Unfortunately, they're going to take more damage than they're going to deal in that position. I'd really like it if they were swarming back here on their big ships. That's exactly what they're supposed to do, but they're not doing that right now. As it is, of course, we're going to win this with no problem, but we are going to take a few additional losses that we didn't need to take. But that's normal at this moment. So we can see those fighters absolutely wrecking them here. They retreated their bigger fleet, but not their smaller fleet. Unfortunate for that smaller fleet. So we're going to need to replace some of our maulers and some of our weavers here. That's understood. Not at all surprising, given what we saw there. So we're going to add in some juvenile weavers here, and that'll be fine. And then we're going to need to do this fleet as well, which will probably require fewer replacements. Oh yeah, way fewer replacements. Okay, there we go, and that is complete. And with that, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are going to... I'm just checking to see if we have any increased fleet size. No. If we did, I was going to put that into Harbingers. But next episode, we are going to continue to work on eliminating the Palisma Nation. To be honest, they're not going to survive much longer. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, Spock, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.